Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's, and this week's Tasty Tuesday recipe is Veggie Rice Soup. This is one of those soups that you can make your own very easily just by the goodies that you decide to add to it. It's a quick meal. The hardest part is chopping the veggies. So if you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and you're going to need a medium onion, 2 cups of carrots diced, 2 ribs of celery diced, 1 clove of garlic minced. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this all up, and I'm going to put it in a pan and cook it for maybe 5 minutes or until they start to sweat. And in the meantime, I am going to make 2 cups of cooked rice, and that's going to be set aside. Okay, I have the olive oil heating up, and to that I'm going to add the onion, the carrots, and the celery. And I'm going to let this cook over a medium heat for 5 to 7 minutes, at least until it starts to sweat and the onions start to get a little translucent. And I have the rice already cooked and waiting. Okay, I let this simmer over the medium heat for just about 7 minutes. And now I'm going to add the garlic. And I'm going to let this cook for another minute before we go on. And I did make sure that I was stirring this just to keep everything from burning, because the onions, of course, will burn. To the vegetables, I'm going to add a can of garbanzo beans, and these are going to be rinsed and drained very well. A can of diced tomatoes, or you can use crushed. I love chunks of tomatoes, so I'm using the diced. And 32 ounces of vegetable broth. Now, if you want to make this not vegetarian, you can certainly use beef broth or chicken broth, but I'm using vegetable broth. And after I'm done with that, I will be adding 2 bay leaves, about a half a teaspoon of basil. I like thyme in this. I'm totally out of it. It'll be fine. Onion powder, garlic powder, and I do that to taste, and salt and pepper to taste. The garbanzo beans are all rinsed and drained, so they're going in. The can of tomatoes are going in, and there's always lots left in there, so I'm going to put some of this broth in here and swirl it, because I don't want to miss any. And I'm going to put the flame on medium. Get these spices in here. And I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to let this cook for about 30 minutes. And this only needs stirred every so often. I'll put a couple of large bay leaves in there. That way they're easier to find for me, because they come out at the end of the, when the soup is done cooking. So, I'm just going to stir this up. And that's going to go for, like I said, 30 minutes. .30 minutes is up, and it's bubbling away. And the first thing I'm going to do is fish out the bay leaves, and then I'm going to add to this 2 cups of the cooked rice and 2 cups of fresh spinach. I'm going to be removing the stems, and then I'm going to let that cook for another 2 minutes. And I just use scissors to cut the stems off, and if they're really large leaves, I'll just cut them in half. And I put the rice in there. Spinach, and I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to let this cook for about 2 more minutes, and then it should be done. You can add anything you want to this and make this soup your own. I like potatoes in my soups, but I thought with the rice it would be just a little too much. Okay, I'll be back after the 2 minutes, and we'll plate this up and give it a taste. That 2 minutes is up. You can see how hot this is. So I'll be plating this up and letting it cool down. And once it cools down, I'll be giving it a taste. I'm going to take a guess and say that it probably needs salt, but then again, doesn't everything that I make need salt? I do believe that it's cooled down. We're going to give this a try, and I know it's going to need salt, but I'm going to try it anyway. Maybe it doesn't need salt. This is really good. I think next time I make this, I'm going to make the celery just a little smaller, because they're a little crunchier than the rest of the veggies. But then again, I love crunching veggies. Oh, that spinach was just what it needed. Well, I liked it, and I hope you did too. Let me know in the comments down below what you would do differently when you make yours. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.